How you guys doing, church? How you guys doing, world? There's another guy on here on a YouTube channel, and he was talking about false teaching, and he had my name. I'm gonna say his name, but I agree with him in a lot of ways because you have to be careful, including me, what we joke about and what we say, because it can lead someone to hell. Okay. Um, a lot of times I like to make people laugh. I mean, I'd rather have youngsters go on my channel than watch a famous comedian that cusses and uses profanity and bad words. I mean, I'm guilty of putting a lot of bad stuff on YouTube in my life. I actually been on drugs, alcohol. I'm not drinking through the grace of my family helping me out. I just got off the streets from being homeless, off and on, doing drugs. I did get shown a vision of hell. I see my body on the floor. Demons were tormenting me. Hell is every pain you can think of. And at the end of this vision, I seen this whole world nothing but ashes. That is no lie. And after this vision, I got mad at God because look at this world. When you turn on the TV, it's just the same old, same old. All you see is 666, pretty much. Um, it's just crazy, and we just make excuses and make excuses, and this is no game. This is no game, church, at all. I repeat myself. I'm talking about the same thing a lot of times because a lot of times I should be talking to myself, not just you guys. And I use excuse as well as other people do. Oh, I'm not perfect, and give myself an excuse and lie to myself about doing things I shouldn't. Uh, I still have my addictions. Uh, Drugs and alcohol is out of the picture, thank God. I'm not going to talk about my addictions because it wouldn't be really godly of me, as you would say. But sometimes when you talk about your addictions, it actually helps you and the next person. But if you do it in a selfish manner and it's all about you and you don't think about other people, then you shouldn't be talking about it. Amen. Um, this is there's a war going on. Uh, there's a lot of contradictions, and then we point our fingers, and then the laws of attraction goes right back to you and right back to me. Uh, we're all living a life of contradiction. Is this reality or is this fiction? No, this is reality, church. This is no game. Um, Praying is not just when you just shut your eyes and put both of your hands together and start praying. Praying is action, and I need to start listening to myself and acting a lot more. I I actually make excuses, church. I make excuses of a lot of things I know I shouldn't be doing. Um, my sister got me a PlayStation, and I kind of felt guilty actually playing it. With see this thing. It's actually evil in a lot of ways. She got me a game called Grand Theft Auto. I feel guilty when I play it because I think about parents letting their kids play that game. And when we play this game, these inappropriate games, or we watch inappropriate movies, and we think it doesn't have no effect on our way of life and thinking it does. This is no game. I mean, you can talk about God and point your fingers and say this person's fake and this person's fake, but if we don't uplift each other, there's no hope. So when this guy called me a liar and all this other stuff, I was like, man, hold up. I'm not going to let the devil win. I'm going to subscribe to this guy. And I started listening to him talking, and I assumed that he was a Freemason. That's the reason why he called me a liar. Because there's a video on top playlist, first video on this channel about Freemasonry. There's a big gold Freemason sign. So I assumed that he's a Freemason. That's why he called me a liar. Only God knows why that man called me a liar, but I wish I was lying. I did see a vision of hell, and hell was every pain you can think of. And I say I have nightmares almost every night, but then I get up and I make excuses and I get afraid and I look at this whole world. I'm just like, man, no one's listening. No one cares. So I go outside and make excuses for some of the simple things that I do, church. But you can't lead no one to God and talk about certain things if you're doing it. Like I said, is this reality or is this fiction? We're all living a life of contradiction. This is no game. And I get mad a lot of times and I joke around and I do all this stuff on YouTube. A lot of times when I'm joking around, I'm not smiling. I mean, I like to joke around, make people laugh, but sometimes I do it like, is this the only way people listen? I mean, there's nothing wrong with laughter and having fun. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but there's always a but. Let's get the crap out of our mouth. This world is no joke. I mean, I pray for Freemasons. I don't agree with it. They do really believe Lucifer is God, and a lot of us are saying "Hail Satan" without even the words coming out of our mouths. Watching movies, and we're all guilty of it. If we don't do it now, or if we're doing it now, or if we did it in our past, or if let's just turn on the TV and let's just watch a rated R movie. It's not going to have no effect. Okay, let's just go take our children and watch a movie that has sex in it and profanity and all this stuff. Like you watch this movie with Rob Zombie. He's like a rock and roll artist, heavy metal artist. That man believes in Satan. He's part of the satanic church. A house of 1,000 corpses. And at the end of this movie, they go down and down into the ground, and they're making sacrifices for Satan. What happens with compromise, what's going on with this government is, picture some beings not of this world come down and promise these governments wealth, fame, technology, and all that. And these reptilians, I never thought I'd believe in reptilians in my life. They're demons. The people in power, supposedly in power, because you're not in power if you're not of God, are making deals with these reptilians, but they're really demons. And you go on second playlist. How much more proof do you guys need? How much more proof do I need? We need to start looking at ourselves and stop just pointing our fingers at everybody but ourselves. I mean, we can say that we're of God and say someone's doing false teaching, but instead of downing that person and belittling that person and calling them names, work with that person and pray with that person and say, hey, we both have YouTube channels. We're talking about God. Let's both uplift each other and say, hey, brother or sister, do you want to read a verse in the Bible? And then we read it, and then we go back on YouTube, or we go to church, or we go to our families, and we talk about what we learned. Amen. So this all needs to stop.